Tuglo, and I am half Filipino, quarter Japanese, and quarter American. Ultimately, I just was not happy with what I was doing, what I was studying, and at the end of the day, I just was never positive. I was extremely negative, probably like going off into like small depression, if that was even what you could call that. But that was just definitely not for me. So I decided I would triple down on my strengths. I would come home, start streaming consistently on a day-to-day basis, and put out as much YouTube content as I possibly could. And as silly as it is, these strengths are just, playing video games, staying up for a really long time, and functioning on low amounts of sleep. I actually got into gaming when I was really young. My dad was the first person who introduced me to hardcore gaming, probably when I was around the age of 6, maybe 7 years old. He decided to get me around that age because I was just starting to learn how to type. Now I actually type with 2 fingers, so I'd be like actual sounds. And ever since then, I've just been gaming like every day. If not every day, I might miss like a day or two, but it's definitely a huge part of my life. I found out about streaming when I was probably a senior in high school, and I saw people, getting donations, partnerships, sponsorships, and I thought, man, that's something I'd potentially love to do. Like, that sounds really fun. That sounds really awesome. And, I thought that was something that I'd be good at, and I never imagined that I'd even start streaming, on a full-time basis. So, I guess you could technically say I'm living the dream. Hands down, favorite game of all time, EverQuest 2. I played that from when I was around 6 or 7 until 14, 15, 16 years old, and I could spend days upon days just reminiscing about, the kinds of quests we went on, raids, just the people that I met in that game. That game will always just hold a special place in my heart. I love that game. So when I started playing EverQuest 2, my dad had a ranger whose name was Kuyo, C-U-Y-O, and he let me have it because, I've always loved bows and arrows, since I was a little kid, he gave me that ranger, and I was like, man, this is really cool, but the name, I just did not like that name. So he graciously gave me the name Tuglo, and he was like, yeah, that's a pretty legendary name, you need to live up to it. And I was like, what are you talking about? So one day, way later down the road, I went up to him and I was like, hey, what's EverQuest 1 like? So we log in, and he let me log in on Tuglo, which was a Templar or a Cleric. I can't remember which class. And probably about 5 minutes into me logging in, somebody shot me a message, and they were like, is this the real Tuglo? And I looked at my dad, I was like, hey Dad, what's this dude talking about, the real Tuglo? And he's like, go ahead, just answer, have a little conversation with him. I was like, no, this is his son. First response back, he goes, your dad's a legend. I was like, okay, let's go. So ever since then, he graciously gave me that name, and when I was playing EverQuest 2, I started making a new name for myself. I'd go on a bunch of different groups, pickup groups, I'd do a bunch of different raids, and people just started getting to know who I was. And when we started using Ventrilo, which was our Skype for back in the day, they noticed how young of a kid I was, and instead of calling me by like Rotsnot or Zandifer, Aurelius, Helia, or whatever, Trifecta, whatever names I came up with, for some reason Tug or Tuglo was just the easiest name for them to call me, and ever since then it's just stuck, and here I am. So me, my dad, and his friends started playing this game called Warhammer Online, and in that game there was a class called the White Lion, which you were the, I guess, the owner or tamer of your white lion pet, and at level 1, it was just a really small cub, but as you grew in level, so did your white lion. It got to the point to where it would have a mane, it'd have all this really awesome looking battle armor, and as you leveled up, you'd also get maybe a lion's head as a cloak or something like that. Bigger axes, just things like that. And quick disclaimer: this has no affiliation with the actual Order of the White Lion. If you want to read about that, I'll have a little link in the description down below. But when I started, thinking about the Order of the White Lion and guild names, I was like, man, that sounds really cool. But it never got passed along into my dad and his group of friends because they had a legendary guild name called Raging Storms, which that was known in EverQuest 1 and in EverQuest 2. So now that I'm out here doing my own thing, that's sort of like the brand or the guild that I want to use personally. I'll mainly be streaming a lot of League of Legends and Sword Art Online Memory Defrag. Other games that I'll probably stream would be Overwatch, Diablo 3, Hearthstone, and a little bit of Path of Exile as well. As far as YouTube content, I think I'm just gonna stick to League of Legends, Sword Art Online, Memory Defrag, and maybe Overwatch if I think there's some good highlights in there. I'm not sure because it's been a while, so stay tuned. I might have a little something in there for you. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, one of the big goals for me would be able to get a partnership with Twitch. I think that's probably like the top of the list that I think I won't be able to achieve until maybe a few years down the road. I'd also really love to go to different events, maybe TwitchCon, PAX East, PAX West, BlizzCon, LCS events, whether it's finals, semifinals, Worlds would also be really cool to go to, MSI, just different events where I can, meet the future community, meet, the community, the little community that I have now, and just travel. That would be really cool, to just vlog and just hang out with all of y'all. One day in the future, that'd be the coolest thing to me. I try to make a lot of YouTube content based off of what I stream, but there are also going to be a few series that I think are really interesting that y'all might like. So stay tuned for that little piece of, that little some, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Other than that, I just really like to watch a lot of anime, and I like to read anime because I don't have too much time for anything else right now. Maybe down the road in the future, I'll be able to go completely full-time into streaming where that's all I do. I won't have to work a job at a warehouse. Maybe. I don't know. That'd be ideal, but we'll see. You've ever been in the position where you're doing something that you don't love or you don't want to do? You know what that feeling is. I can't describe it. But I was doing that with college for the past 3 years, and that was something that just didn't sit well with me. So when I got the opportunity and made the decision to leave college, withdraw, and do this full time, it was something that said like, man, how can I not be happy? How can I not be positive anymore? It was like a burden lifted off of my shoulders, and I just thought, man, if I give negativity just an inch, it'll take a mile. And so ever since then, I was just like, man, I always try to find the good things, in the day. Whether it's, hey, I woke up, bam, instantly. Like that's first thing I think of that makes me happy, and I'm just like, hey, I get to see another day. Why not be happy? Why not be productive? And I mean, if you really want something as far as motivational, shout out to Gary Vaynerchuk. You want 3 words of motivation? You're gonna die. It's the truth. So I'm gonna spend my time as productive as I think I can use it, as efficiently as I believe I can use it, and I'm just gonna do what I love, because everybody deserves to be happy and do what they love. It's the truth. I appreciate you watching until the end of the video. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please leave them down in the comment section below. If you liked the video, leave a like. If you disliked the video, leave a dislike. And leave a comment down below so I can know what to improve on for the next video. Until then, peace out.